He didn't bother knocking before coming in, he just stood in the doorway, rain dripping off his hair, eyes wild like he'd run through a nightmare. "I have to tell you something," he said, voice trembling, and I already knew what kind of mess he'd gotten into. I saw it in the way his hands wouldn't stop moving, the way he couldn't meet my eyes. The words tumbled out. He'd been sleeping with someone else, someone I'd met, someone who'd laughed at my jokes at a party 2 weeks ago. He started to cry, but all I felt was this cold, hollow ache, like someone had flipped a switch in my chest and turned everything off. He kept pleading, asking for forgiveness, listing reasons, blaming stress, blaming the city, blaming the way I'd been distant lately. I watched him fall apart on the kitchen floor, clutching at my legs like a child, and the worst part was, I couldn't even muster the energy to yell. I'd imagined this moment 1,000 times, throwing plates, screaming, packing a bag and slamming the door. But there was nothing. I just stared at him, wondering if I'd ever really loved him or if I'd just loved the chaos he brought with him. The secrets we'd shared, the late-night confessions, the fights that always ended in tangled sheets and whispered apologies, it all flashed through my mind, but it felt like someone else's life. His betrayal didn't sting, it barely registered. I realized then that the relationship had been rotting for months, maybe years, and I'd been too bored or too comfortable to admit it. I almost laughed at the irony. He was begging for another chance, and I was trying to remember the last time I cared enough to be hurt. I waited for anger, for heartbreak, for something real, but all I felt was relief. Relief that the final thread had snapped, that I was free from pretending. "You should go," I said, and he blinked at me, not understanding. He wanted a fight, a scene, something passionate he could tell his friends about. But I just watched him gather his things, saw him pause in the doorway like he expected me to stop him. I didn't. The real betrayal wasn't what he'd done, it was how little it mattered to me now.